Haringkat batkari barok kaway ka Meghalaya State Unit jonga Union Forum of Bank Unions UFBU kanya shimbenta hakajeki ba arsngi kaban sedang nadu ka shiteng senya jonga arpulai hadu ka arpasan trik leber halor ka jingbam la ben penurlong ya ki jingdawa kabala sa teng laslam da ki bor berikmi ka jingtrekam jong barok ki bank sorkar kum ka Central Bank of India, State Bank of India, Canara Bank of India, Punjab National Bank of India, Union Bank of India, Indian Overseas Bank, Bank of India na lor ki wepan kin shakta hai ki nik arsngi jong ka jingeki. Ka United Forum Bank of India ka bade ka kenhun jong ki kendai tali ki bank ki bakong san jong kari kalapan benaya ka nik ka jingeki. Hadian bakam shimlala un poi shaka jinga manjur bat ki Indian Banks Association IBA. Haba pentip syakilat patai kubor halor kanika ra jong Meghalaya State Unit banya shimbenta ha kanika jingki jong ki bank u Deputy General Secretary u Deva Deep Das Gupta ulaong baka jingdawa ka jongki ka kentup halor ka jingpen rongkam ka babiang ka jingpen scam me kinong tre ba shipor bat ka jing tre ba sansngi ha ka shitaw yaw ha ki bank ula pentip ru baka UFBU kala khot ban weng no ya ka jing betha badang shen jong ka sorkar halor ka jing bishar benya ya ka jing tre kam bat ka PLI ya ka ba ula ong ka bu jingma ya ka kam ka jam ka jing pen mi ya ka jinga pher bat ka ba pen khen ya ka jinga te kular nalor kata u Deputy General Secretary u kenturu ya ka sorkar bakan pen kala ya ka Gratuity Act ban kentiu ya ka jing siu syaka arpesan lak tingka bat pelat na ka jing siu khajana kumju ban penne ya ka equity ka ba omduna ya ka 100% haka IDBI Bank. Ulakan tho ru ya ka ru kompanya ya ki Micro Management of Public Sector Banks PSBs da ka Department of Financial Services DFS. Udas Gupta ula banjur ru baki bank ki don kam ya ka jingdon ki nongpre ka babiang kenang banla ban pendap ya ka jingdawa jong ki patba da ka bakdo ya ka jingduna namar ka jimbam biang ka jimpen rungkam na du kini ki ship house nam baladam. Ulak daw rup bakat ba ki PSBs ki pentre kam ya ki skim sorkar Henry ki dunapan ha ka jingdon ya ki nongtre. Ki jingken batikna ki pen iya ka jingduna ka bajor ha ka jingdon ki nongtre ha ki PSBs kata ka baladuna da hadu shilak san 2000 pras pa life sanut ki nongtre ha ka kerdan kelek bat san 1000 ars pa prapo sub staff ha ki ni khatwes nam ki baladam. Habayan ujor bat ki bank shimen lasaki halor ka jingkiu ha ka baya de ba ka jingbiang jong ki nongtre.
Devadip Das Gupta. I am representing AIBUC here, which is one of the constituents of United Forum of Bank Unions. I think pretty much we have all been given this copy of this press release, and there are about 13 demands which the UFBU is going on agitation for. I mean, the agitation has already started from the month of February, which will culminate in a 2-day nationwide strike on the 24th and 25th of March. So there are 13 demands. Out of these, I think we have talked about the most important demand already, which is the adequate recruitment of staff and officers, that is recruitment in all cadres. And I have just explained as to how it is going to affect the services which we give to the people, and also it is how it is going to affect our personal lives. The other demand which is of crucial importance is this 5-day banking, 5-day week. As you all know, after long negotiation, public sector banks have already been given 2 Saturdays off. The second and the fourth Saturday are already off. We are enjoying this, I think, for the last 5-6 years, perhaps, even more than that. Now the requirement of is for the other Saturdays also, maybe 2 more or 3 more Saturdays in a month. This is a demand which has been long standing, and an agreement has already been reached on the 8th of March last year at Bombay between the United Forum of Bank Unions and the IBA. And it was agreed there that the IBA also is in consonance with our demand for 5-day banking, that the remaining Saturdays will also be declared as holidays. And accordingly, this agreement was signed, and IBA did recommend this to the Government of India, because the body who is supposed to declare this is the Government of India. So now it is pending with the Government of India along with IBA's recommendation for the last 1 year, and there has been no outcome of this. So this is also why we are going on an agitation because of this 5-day week, because it affects our work-life balance. they are all having holidays on all Saturdays. Central government has Saturday on all Saturday holidays. I think state governments also have. So why should banks not get the benefit of having the holiday on all Saturdays so that the bank officers and the staff can enjoy more quality time with their families, they can have more time to themselves, they can relax, they can have what is commonly known as work-life balance. In today's scenario with so much technological advances, ATMs are there, internet banking is there, your mobile banking is there, the need of branch banking has reduced a lot. We also have done a lot of study and we have come to this conclusion that if the remaining Saturdays of a month are also declared as holidays, the general public will not be that much affected. So this is a demand which is still lying in the court of the Government of India. We are certain that they will eventually grant the remaining Saturdays holidays also. But then this is because one of the reasons why we are going on strike. The other demands has already been discussed. There's one thing which I wanted to share with you is the violation of bilateral agreement, which is there in your printouts. As you all know that the Department of Financial Services, DFS, which is under the Ministry of Finance, is is also one of our regulators. They have come recently in the month of September last year. They have come out with two directives, two circulars, which are very very impairing in nature. It impairs the very independence and the functionality of public sector banks. I'll just go back to the year 2015 when this Gyan Sangam was held in the city of Pune. There the Prime Minister himself had stated that on the 2nd and 3rd of January 2015, the Honorable Prime Minister of the country had said that, I'll quote, banks should be run professionally and there would be no interference. It was also decided that the bank's boards should be given full autonomy on HR decisions such as recruitment, consequence management and compensation. The government, it was also, many things were also said down in very clear terms in this Gyan Sangam that the government will not interfere in the working of banks, public financial institutions. But then on 10 years after that, the DFS today has come up with two circulars. One circular which says that the PLI, which is known as performance linked incentive. Till now in the banks, in public sector banks, the PLI scheme is very well defined. It is a result of bilateral negotiation between the unions and the bank's management that we are getting PLI, right from a sweeper to a general manager rank is getting a certain quantum of PLI which changes every year. It depends on how much profit a bank has made on a particular year. Depending on that, certain number of days of salary, say 7 days salary, 10 days salary, 15 days salary is given as PLI. It comes across the board for all employees of the bank, from, like I said, from the very lowest grade to the grade of general manager. DFS, in its circular in September, has said that they have tried to tweak this PLI thing, and now they are saying that PLI should be made available to only the officers from scale 4 to scale 8, and which forms only 5% of the bank's total number of people. Scale 4 to scale 8 officers is only 5%. So remaining 95% are not eligible to get any PLI, which we consider to be absolutely draconian. It it creates a divide between the bank's employees. Why should only a certain percentage, 5% of people get PLI? Are they the only ones who are performing in the bank? Performance-linked incentive is called a performance. So performance is of everybody in the bank, not only the small, minuscule 5%. So this also we are opposing and fighting against. During this strike, the ATMs will remain open. People who have access to internet banking, people who have got access to mobile banking, they will be able to do their banking without any break. Only the branch banking as such, that will be affected. Things which you do over the counter, that will be affected during the 2 days of strike. No, ATMs will be replenished the day before the strike. The ATMs will be replenished to their brim. Up till the 23rd, ATMs will be replenished so that 24, 25 people can use the ATMs. So that will ensure that ATMs are full to the brim. We do also not want to cause any inconvenience to the general public, because our fight or our struggle is not against the general public. DFSs performance evaluation. They have come up with a system in which banks are supposed to report to the DFS the number of employees in the age above 57, 58 and 59 whom they think are inefficient and they should be given retirement. In the case of an officer, if a bank decides, the bank's management decides that so and so Mr. A is at the age of 58, he is inefficient and he should be removed from the service of the bank, he will be given a notice of 3 months in lieu of salary of 3 months. He will be given 3 months notice and after that he is gone. In the case of a clerical staff, it is even less, it is 2 months. It is 2 months notice and his service may be terminated. So this also is, it is fraught with great danger of misuse. If I have a problem with somebody, I may recommend that this fellow is inefficient and I can ensure that he is removed from the service of the bank. This again is against the very spirit of what was said in that Gyan Sangam, which I said that banks will be run efficiently without least interference. So these are the two most important things apart from this recruitment and this 5-day banking. I think in this entire 13 demands, this is something which we need to be really worried about, and in this we are proposing to terminate. That is all. So many extra work like these Pradhan Mantri schemes, the PM schemes, all this social security schemes, the PM JJBY, PM BY. There are so many this PM Mudra scheme, especially after the COVID. We have got so many government schemes, and that also is to be implemented by the same public sector banks and with that kind of lesser amount of staff. The private sector banks are not that much forthcoming in implementing the government schemes. So the entire almost 85% of the burden of government schemes is resting on the public sector banks. With our reduced manpower, it becomes a huge problem for those who are serving. For the existing people, I am having to do the work of 3-4 people, which again increases my workload, it increases my pressure, it increases my, it affects my family life. I cannot go home in time. I have to finish the work. It also, to a certain extent, affects the customer service. Today, if you go to public sector bank's branch, and if you do not get good service, it is not because that we want to give you bad service. It is that because we are forced into such a position that even if we want, we cannot look up and smile at you because we have that kind of pressure on us. Because in public sector banks today, in the government banks, one customer is handling, one banker is handling to an accessible 2,000 to 3,000 customers he or she is handling. Whereas compared that to a private sector bank, one employee is handling about 200, 150, 300 customers at the most. So you can feel how much more we are having to serve. That is why it affects everything. It affects our personal lives. It affects you as a customer. It affects the bank's business. It affects everything. So if we get adequate recruitment, I think we will be able to perform much better, and also our side will also be kept safe. Today you may be hearing of so many people committing suicides. Bankers are committing suicide because of work pressure. And this, compared with the tremendous amount of pressure which the management is giving on the staff, it becomes very difficult to manage. So recruitment in adequate numbers in all cadres, I think, is going to solve very many problems at the same time. That's what I wanted to add. The response has been good. Exactly in statistical terms, I'm really not here to tell you what is the statistics. But these two schemes, especially for smaller children, it has done well. It has done well, I can say.
Take off from what Tamara said. You see, the government on one hand is letting out a lot of the schemes, which is said like social security scheme, Prime Minister Jivan Jyoti, PMSBY, APY. These are social security scheme, which is a very good initiative by the government. It is so that the common man, like people at the low income level, they are covered with some sort of social security. But in case he dies, somebody who is a farmer, somebody who is a laborer, in case he dies, then he'll be covered by this 2 lakh of an insurance scheme. Okay. So this is a social security scheme which the government has launched out, which is good. But all these are being launched by the public sector bank. So now, if our staff, they are so hard pressed with so many works, they will not be able to even deliver these schemes of the government. Because one person, he has to do so many things. He's sitting in a branch, he has to give money, he has to open account, he has to talk to people about the social security scheme, there are other things. So it defeats the whole purpose of the schemes. It's a very good thing that the government has come up with this, but these schemes we are not being able to implement in the way we should have is because we lack staff. And speaking of what I said about unemployment, if there are more recruitment in the clerical cadre, officers cadre, okay, the major chunk is in the clerical cadre and the sub-staff for the Group D, you'll be opening doors for so many of our youths to be employed. Now when you outsource a job, that is a temporary job. Somebody is outsourced through that company for a year, 2 years, you don't know after 3 years whether the company will still keep him or not. Then what happens to that youth? He's crossed that age of being employed, employable age, because there's an age limit. I'm not talking something specific to the state of Meghalaya, but when I say about the entire country, you have an age limit up to which a person can apply. 27, 28 and a general category candidate cannot apply for a government job.